So we are studying the last official chapter of Maths 1, which is quadratic equations. We have completed all the theory that is required for this. Once again, reminding you, we understood the general form of the quadratic equation. We understood three methods of solving quadratic equation. First one is factorization, which does not work all the time. Second one is completing the square, which we rarely use. We don't use unless we are asked to use. And the third one is the formula method, the discriminant method. Then we understood the relationship between the coefficients and the roots, the sum of the roots, the product of the roots, where we understood how we can find the sum of the roots and the product of the roots from the coefficient. Also, how we can form the equation if we know the two roots. That's all we have studied in this chapter. In the last class, we were looking at multiple questions. I think we looked at question number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 from problem set 2. And we did that to once again remind us about what we have studied in this chapter. Today, in this session, we will focus on word problems. So we will start from practice set 2.6. Then we will move to some of the solved examples. And then we will go to problem set 2. Most probably, this will be the last session. Last quadratic session on quadratic equations. Pay attention, ask if you have any doubt, and try to solve in the class so that we practice properly. We will start with on page number 52, practice set 2.6, question number 2. So we are starting with practice set 2.6. And we are looking at question number 2. Who will read the question? You are reading it from your textbook. Go ahead, Chand. You are the first one to raise your hand.
Sum of squares of two consecutive natural even numbers is 244. Find the numbers.
Thank you, Chand. So the question reads, as Chand read for the entire class, sum of squares of two consecutive natural even numbers. Sum, squares, consecutive, natural, even numbers is 244. Find the numbers. Quickly, tell me which is the smallest natural number? Smallest. You can speak, you can type. Very good. The correct answer is 1. Natural numbers start from 1. Tell me, after 1, what is the next natural number?
2.
2, and then 3, correct? And they go on. They go on. There is no limit. If someone asks you which is the biggest natural number, no, that's a wrong question. There cannot be any answer. Undefined. Because natural numbers and all integers, all kinds of numbers, they are infinite numbers. So this is not a proper question. Okay, now tell me, which is the smallest even natural number? Smallest even natural number. Okay, all of you are typing in the chat that it is 2. Even number means a number which is divisible by 2. In other words, it means when we divide a natural even number by 2, the remainder will be 0. And we don't need to get quotient as a decimal number. We can have quotient also as a natural number and the remainder will be 0. So the even numbers are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and it continues. If you remember the chapter of arithmetic progression, these even also form a arithmetic progression. They also form a arithmetic progression. Try write it in the arithmetic progression form in the chat, even numbers. Two of the students already wrote natural numbers in the form of arithmetic progression, Prachi and Alfia. Numbers separated by comma, ending with ... because these are infinite progressions. How can we write even numbers as arithmetic progressions? Prachi and Alfia, you have already done it for natural numbers. Yes, Chand, correct. Very good, correct. Chanda, we will not write at the end infinite. We will just put 3 dots. It will mean it is an infinite series. It's an infinite progression. Very good. Muskan, Prachi, Alfia, all of you have written it correctly. Chand, all of you have written it correctly. Khadija, I'm going to write it on the screen. The students are telling that for question number 2, what we are dealing with is this: 2, 4, 6, 8, ... Now, if I ask you, what is the first term of this arithmetic progression? How will we write it in arithmetic progression form?
T1 is equal to 2.
No, okay, T1. What is the other special notation for T1?
A.
A. Very good. So T1 equals to A equals to 2. Very good. Now, to define an arithmetic progression, there is one more thing that is required. Along with the first term, we need something else. Common difference, Chan, not just difference, common difference. So what is the common difference for this arithmetic progression?
2.
4 minus 2.
Which is what, Aman? How much is it?
2.
Yes, correct. So the even numbers, they form an arithmetic progression starting with 2 and a common difference of 2. Very good. If you know this, even if you don't know arithmetic progression, if you can observe that the first number is 2 and every other number is 2 more than the previous number, then we can easily solve question number 2. Now come here. Come back to the question. It says sum of squares of 2 consecutive natural even numbers. We already have written how natural even numbers would look like. We have that progression already written down. Now, from what I have written on the screen, can you tell me 2 consecutive numbers from this progression, from this series, from this list? Any 2 consecutive numbers? Let us understand what consecutive means. Any 2 consecutive numbers from screen. 2, 4, 6, 8. Anushka is saying 2 and 4, correct? What are the other combinations? 2, 2 and 4 is 1, correct. What are the other?
4 and 6.
4 and 6 is correct. Muskan is saying 6 and 8, that is also correct. So we all understand consecutive means next to each other, immediately after or before. No gap in between. That is the meaning of consecutive. Very good. Now, if I tell you that, say, one particular even natural number is x, if I tell you, what will be the next even natural number? If you have understood this arithmetic progression, if you have understood that the common difference is 2, what will be the number after x? No, Chanda, very wrong answer. Akhilesh, correct. Prachi, correct. Khadija, not after 8. If I say that x is a even number, even natural number, what will be the next even natural number? No, Chanda, again wrong. Karthik, wrong. Anushka, wrong. Alfia, Aarti, Chand, everyone is giving me the wrong answer. The only 2 people who have given me the right answer, Prachi and Akhilesh. Now, Anushka, you are right. See what is happening. From 2 to 4, we are adding 2. From 4 to 6, we are adding 2. From 6 to 8, we are adding 2. So from x to the next number, we will add 2. It is not x2. It is not x square. It is not 2x. It is not x2. It is not x plus 1. It is not 10. It is x plus 2. This is the most important step of the question, to understand our two numbers in the general algebraic form, x and x plus 2. Now the question is easy. It says the sum of squares. Okay, then the squares will be x square and x plus 2 whole square. Sum is this, and this is equal to 240. This is what we need to solve. The question is, find the numbers. Find the numbers means we need to find x and x plus 2. We now have a quadratic equation. If we can solve it, we can find x. If we can find x, we can find x plus 2. Now to solve this equation, we will have to first bring it in the general form. To bring it in the general form, we will have to expand x plus 2 whole square, which can be done if we know the formula for a plus b whole square, which can also be done if we just multiply x plus 2 with x plus 2. So x square can be written as x square. Now x plus 2 whole square is x square plus 2 into x into 2, 2ab, plus b square, which is 2 square, equals to 240. Now when we simplify this further, 1x square, another x square, this makes it 2x square. Now 2 into 2 is 4, so plus 4x plus 4 minus 240. If we simplify this further, and equals to 0. I moved 244 from right hand side to the left hand side because I'm trying to get the equation in the general form. Ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0. Further, the equation becomes 2x square plus 4x minus 240 equals to 0. Now, because you have understood what even numbers are, you will already see that the coefficients 2, 4, and minus 240, all three of them are even numbers. So if you divide all of them by 2, x square plus 2x minus 120 equals to 0. It's now the equation is in a simple general form. So when I said divide, we are dividing both LHS and RHS by 2. So 0 by 2 is 0. And when we are dividing the LHS by 2, 2x square by 2 is x square, 4x by 2 is 2x, and minus 240 by 2 is 120, minus 120. Now we have two options. Depending on what we are more comfortable with, we can use that method to solve. I will not say 3 method because I am never comfortable with completing the squares. So the two methods that I always consider, and I always try to see if I can solve a question using factorization method. It is just faster. If you know your arithmetic, if you know your numbers, multiples, it is faster. So when I look at this question, where A is 1, B is 2, and C is 120, I can very easily see that if I split 120 in terms of 12 and 10, if I take plus 12 and minus 10, then the product will be 120 and the sum will be 2x. So personally, I would go ahead from here with the factorization method. X square plus 12x minus 10x minus 120 equals to 0. Proceeding with the same, in the same way for the same method, x plus 12 minus 10 is common, x plus 12, x plus 12, x minus 10 implies x equals to minus 12. When if x plus 12 equals to 0, then x will be equal to minus 12. And if x minus 10 equals to 0, then it will be equal to 10. X will be equal to 10. But remember our initial understanding, natural even numbers, that means x cannot be negative. X can only be 10. If x equals to 10, x plus 2 will be 10 plus 2 equals to 12. So the numbers that we were looking for, may be 10 and 12. Have I done it right? Have I done it wrong? Can you please check and tell me? 10, 12. After we formed the quadratic equation in general form, we had two options, either to use the factorization method or to use the formula method. It is your choice. If you don't like factorization method, go ahead and use the formula method, your choice, but get the answers right. And right now in the class, try it in the other method, your favorite method, because when I speak with you, I realize that you like the formula method better, and that is happening only because we are a little weak. There are still some gaps with our basic algebra, and our understanding of arithmetic is a little better, so we like that method more. So try this question in the formula method, see if you are getting the same answer. Confirm. The next question that we are going to try solve now is question number 4 of practice set 2.6. Why did I write in red? Just a mistake. Question number 4 of practice set 2.6. Who will read it now? Just read. Raise your hand. Chan, please read.
Vivek is older than Kishore by 5 years. The sum of the reciprocal of their ages is 1/6. Find the present age.
Thank you, Chan. I'm reading it once again for all of you. It says Vivek is older than Kishore. Usually the name Kishore is spelled as Kishore. E is always there. Isme nahi. Vivek is older than Kishore by 5 years. The sum of the reciprocals of their ages is 1/6. Find their present ages. Now let us try understand what this question means. I'm not going to give you the meaning. You will tell me, but I will give you some leading questions. I will ask, who is older? Who is older and who is younger? माने किसकी उम्र ज्यादा है और किसकी उम्र कम है? It's directly written in the question. Who is older? Who is younger? Okay, Vivek is older and Kishore is younger. Okay. If we have a fraction, say 2/3, what will be the reciprocal of 2/3? What will
3/2.
Very good. The reciprocal of 2/3 will be 3/2. That means the denominator becomes the numerator and the numerator becomes the denominator. Very good. Now, if I tell you, okay, now tell me, one of you please tell me what is the meaning of this question in a very simple way. And you can use Hindi, Marathi, any language. Yes, Chanda, carry on.
So in these questions, two age are asked. So the gap between their ages are given. So that is 5 years. And they are asking about the what is present age will be if their reciprocal age will be 1/6.
Okay, so the gap between their ages is 5, and we are asked their present ages. Something else is given, Chanda. What is the other thing that is given?
There is some of the reciprocals of their age.
So can you say this in any other way instead of using the word sum of the reciprocals?
उन दोनों का एज को मिला के जितना एज
मिला के नहीं, उनके एज के रेसिप्रोकल को मिला के, माने उनके एज को उल्टा करके जब हम उनको ऐड करेंगे, that will be 1/6. Okay, thank you, Chanda. So if I told you that I will say let Kishore's age be X, and then I will ask you what is Vivek's age, what will be your answer? Read the question and answer carefully. Vivek is older than Vivek. Vivek is
X
older
plus
than
5.
Kishore. हाँ बोलो बेटा.
X plus 5.
Very good. Thank you, Alfia. If Kishore's age is X, we will say Vivek's age is X plus 5. Now some of you will say कि ऐसे ही क्यों किया हमने ऐसा क्यों नहीं किया कि let Vivek's age be say M. Yes, हम कर सकते थे. Now if we say that Vivek's age is M, how much will be Kishore's age?
M minus 5.
M minus 5. Very good. Now my personal preference is addition, not subtraction. That is why I am taking X and X plus 5. I'm not taking M and M minus 5. We will get the correct answer in either way, in both the ways. So we will use one method and see what we are getting. So I'm removing this. Now if Kishore's age is X, what will be the reciprocal of X? Means numerator becomes denominator and denominators become numerator. Very good, Prachi. The reciprocal becomes 1/X. Because X means X by 1. So reciprocal becomes 1/X. What will be the reciprocal of X plus 5? Very good. It is 1/X plus 5. Now the question is clear. The question says the sum of the reciprocals means 1/X plus 1/X plus 5 equals to, please complete the equation. It is equal to how much? It is equal to 1/6. Very good. It is equal to 1/6. Very good. Right. So we read the question. We took the appropriate variable. We took the reciprocal of the ages, and then we have found the equation. It is not looking like a quadratic equation, but be careful. Now the variables are in the denominator, so we cannot very easily say whether they are quadratic equation or not unless we bring them in general form. That is, we have no multiplication or division involving the variables. So to do that, we will need to know fraction addition. Fraction addition. We know that when we have two unlike fractions, pay attention now. When we have two unlike fractions, we can add them using the LCM method or by equating their denominators. So we can say like this. If you do not understand the LCM method, then you will understand this. We will multiply 1 by x, the numerator and denominator, with x plus 5. And we will multiply the numerator and the denominator of the other fraction also by the denominator of the other fraction, which is x. Be careful about your brackets. If you miss even one bracket, you will end up in wrong mathematics. Which is equal to 1 by 6. Now when we simplify this, it becomes x plus 5 by x square plus 5x, x by x square plus 5x equals to 1 by 6. Keep writing with me. When we simplify this further, this becomes x plus 5 plus x, because the denominator is now common, equals to 1 by 6. The next step of the simplification will be cross multiplication, right? So we can say x plus 5 plus x as 2x plus 5, which will be multiplied by 6, and it will be equal to 1 multiplied by x square plus 5x. Now when we simplify it further, 6 into 2, 12x. 6 into 5 is 30. X square plus 5. Now because we want the equation in the general form, now it is clear that it is a quadratic equation. We got the x square. Because we are trying to get it in the general form, we will take everything to the right hand side. So we can say 0 equals to x square plus 5x minus 12x minus 30. Or we can say x square plus 5x minus 12x minus 30 equals to 0. दोनों बदल दिया ना हमने. Usually when I write the answer, I will skip this step. Then x square minus 7x minus 30 equals to 0. Now we have a quadratic equation. We have transformed the given question into a quadratic equation in general form. We have got the equation x square minus 7x minus 30 equals to 0. So I am going ahead with the factorization method. X square minus 10x plus 3x minus 30 equals to 0. X is common, x minus 10 plus 3 is common, x minus 10. X minus 10 is common, so remaining is x plus 3. Which is equals to 0, implies when x minus 10 is equal to 0, x will be 10. And when x plus 3 equals to 0, x will be minus 3. But the age cannot be negative. Age cannot be negative. Therefore, our x can only be 10. X can only be 10. And remember, x is the age for Kishore. Then Vivek's age is x plus 5. So which is 10 plus 5 equals to 50. I got my answers. This is for Kishore and this is for Once we have found our equation, we could have used the discriminant method or the formula method, where we could have said discriminant equals to b square minus 4ac. So here b is minus 7, so minus 7 square minus 4, a is 1 and c is minus 30, which is 49 plus 120, which becomes 169. Then we will say our x will be equals to minus b plus or minus square root of delta by 2a, which becomes minus of minus 7 plus or minus square root of 169 by 2 into 1 is 2. So it becomes plus 7. So plus तो मैं लिखूंगा नहीं. Seven plus or minus 13. 169 का square root is 13 by 2. Now we have two answers. 7 plus 13 by 2 and 7 minus 13 by 2. So x can be 20 by 2 or minus kitna 6 by 2. That means our x can be 10 or minus 3. Same thing. Exactly same thing, different method. Next question that we are going to try solve will be question number 5. Question number 5 of practice set 2.6. Now I'm going to read the question for all of you together, and then I will wait for you to form the first equation, not the general form of the quadratic equation. Make the foundational, the first equation, and then share it with me, and then we will take it forward from there. The question reads, Suyash has scored 10 marks more in the second test than in the first test. So Suyash, we are looking at 2 marks. Suyash's scores in 2 tests. And he has scored 10 marks more in the second test than in the first. 5 times the score of the second test is same as the square of the score in the first test. 5 times the score of the second test is same as square of the score in the first test. Find his score in the first test. That's all that the question says. Now think carefully and form the equation. Share it with me in chat. When you are sharing, you are going to share 2 things. 1, what does your variable mean? There will be only one variable, quadratic equations. What is that variable? And then you will tell me what is the equation. Do it now. We can say that let x be Suyash's score in the first test. Then it says Suyash scored 10 marks more in the second test. अगर पहले में 5 है तो सेकंड में 5 plus 10 15 है. अगर पहले में x है तो दूसरे में x plus 10 है. So we have chosen the variable. So what is x? X is the score of Suyash in first test. वो मुझे सुनना था. Suyash's score in first test. Score is important. Suyash's score in first test. And then it says square of the score of the first test is equal to 5 times the score in the second test. The square of the score of the first test is x square. 5 times the score of the second test is 5 into x plus 10. Now we have the starting of the equation. We will have to form the equation in the general form. So expand 5x plus 50. Now move everything to the left hand side. So x square minus 5x minus 50 equals to 0. We have the equation in the general form. Once again, I see a situation where I would like to use the factorization method because these are very small numbers and the factors are very clear. 50, I know what the factors are and how I can get -5 from them. Can you also tell me? I'm waiting for you. What happened? Yeah. So x square minus 10x plus 5x minus 50 equals to 0. Or if I take x common, x minus 10 plus 5 x minus 10 equals to 0. If we continue with this, then we have x minus 10 common and x plus 5 equals to 0. From here, we will say either x minus 10 is 0. So if x minus 10 is 0, our x will be 10. And if x plus 5 is 0, x will be minus 5. Enough? Now, you can argue with me, or there can be someone can say that both of these answers are possible. Yes, because there can be tests where someone gets a negative mark. It is possible. Not the exams that we appear for, right? But it is possible that there are exams with negative marking. But for this question, which is question number 5 of practice set 2.6, it is assumed, very wrongly assumed, but it is assumed that there are no negative markings. So we will say, so the textbook says that the mark is 10 only. And that is the answer. उसने पहले टेस्ट में कितना स्कोर किया? 10. But we know that in real life, if it is a very open test which can also have negative marks, then the score can also be -5. So add a condition to the question that no negative marking. Write it in the text on the textbook, annotate on the question, no negative marking. I want your attention to problem set 2, question number 7, part 5. Question number 7, part 5. Question number 7 says, solve the following quadratic equations. It says, solve the following quadratic equations. And the answer that is given in the textbook, at the end of the textbook, it says roots are not real. Okay? So be it. Roots are not real, that's fine. But using the formula method, you can be using the determinant method, we can still find the roots. And we will say, yes, they are not real, but we can find the answers. So we will find the answer. We will not say not real. We will find out the answer, and in our answer, we will have square root of a negative number. Because the determinant will be not the determinant. The discriminant will be negative. The discriminant will be less than 0. I hope you have tried to solve, read, understand, solve the example questions, which are between practice set 2.5 and 2.6. Just 2 examples are given. Very miserly textbook, this part of the chapter. So first one says there is a rectangular onion storehouse. Rectangular का मतलब उसका base rectangular, circular नहीं, rectangular है. Means the actual shape of the house, storehouse will be cuboid. In the farm of Mr. Ratnakar Rao at Tivasa, doesn't matter who is the farmer, who is which, what is the place. The length of the rectangular base is more than its breadth by 7 meters. So if the breadth is x, the length is x plus 7. And diagonal is more than length by 1 meter. So diagonal will be x plus 7 plus 1, that is x plus 8. The question is find the length and breadth of the storehouse. So the simple thing I wanted to clarify is when it says rectangular onion house, it only is referring to the base, the floor. That is what you see in the picture also. There is a roof, which is not rectangular, which is triangular, you will say, or pyramidal. And the whole storehouse is no way rectangle, it is a cuboid. But when we say something is some structure is rectangular, what we mean is the basic floor, the base is rectangle. The question is find the length and breadth of the storehouse. So to explain to you quickly what is happening here. So imagine the floor of the rectangle storehouse. We are saying the length is x plus 7, the breadth is x, and the diagonal is x plus 8. Now, because it is rectangular, this angle is 90 degree. So if we have this rectangle as ABCD, then we have a right angle triangle ABC with angle B as the 90 degree angle, AC as the hypotenuse. So we can use the Pythagoras theorem, which says the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. So equation 1. It is simplified to convert into the equation in general form, and then it is used, solved using the factorization method to get x equals to 5 or -3. Now the length and breadth, no distance can be negative, so we are only taking x equals to 5. From x, we can find x plus 1, we can find x plus 8, we can find anything that we want. The second question, as solved example, reads a train travels 360 km with uniform speed. Now we are looking at science. The speed of train is increased by 5 km per hour. It takes 48 minutes less to cover the same distance. If छूट गया है इस question में, if the speed of the train is increased by 5 km per hour, it takes 48 minutes less to cover the same distance. Mane, there is a train at a normal speed, normal times में जब उसका usual speed है, when the distance that it is covering is 360 kilometers. अगर हम उसके स्पीड को नॉर्मल से 5 किलोमीटर पर आवर बढ़ा देते हैं, of course it will take lesser time, and that lesser time is 48 minutes. See the problem. Hours, minutes. Be careful. Find the initial speed of the train. मतलब शुरू में कितना स्पीड था, मतलब उसका यूजुअल स्पीड कितना है. So we start by saying let the speed be x. We are increasing, बढ़ा रहे हैं, more, so it becomes x plus 5. We know speed equals to distance by time. Then we can say our time equals to distance by speed. Very, very simple maths and science. So we have two times. Time when the train is running at x kilometers per hour, and time when the train is running at x plus 5 kilometers per hour. The distance remains same, 360. Now the two times are 360 by x and 360 by x plus 5. So when we have increased the speed, we take less time. Means इससे अगर हम 48 minutes को minus कर दें, let me write it clearly. This time is lesser by 48 minutes. 48 minutes means 48 by 60 hours. And that is the equation. From here onwards, it is arithmetic algebra to form the quadratic equation in general form and the solution of it.